Copyright Act deals about the economic and moral rights of the creators. Whoever be the creators, that what kind of rights they have, such kind of economic and moral rights are being discussed now. Actually, the act confers the rights upon the authors of the creators to protect their moral, economic and material interests also. It takes care of everything, the economic aspects in which the moral rights in which that what kind of connectivity one has with the creation and the material interest that how beneficiary it will be for the welfare of the creator. So, the authors of the copyright enjoy economic rights under section 14 of the act. The Copyright Act 1957 section 14 talks about the author's economic right, what kind of economic rights are being discussed or being listed in the particular act. The rights are mainly in respect of literary, dramatic and musical works to make any cinematograph film. If you want to make a film, then what kind of economic rights you are entitled for that. So, moral rights is we will talk about first initially about the moral rights. The right to attribution and preservation of the integrity of the work without mutilation or distortion, which cannot be alternated even by the author. When you make a creation, then it becomes a artistic piece and which should not be mutilated, which should not be altered, which should not be destroyed. So, the author has the creator has the right, that kind of right, even after the signing of agreements or the expiry of agreements and everything, the author always have a moral right, and that kind of right is being called here the moral right. There are two kinds of moral rights. The first one is right of paternity, which means that it refers to the right of an author to claim the authorship of work and a right to prevent all others from claiming the authorship. Paternity means that you are the sole author, and if somebody comes from outside, they should not be allowed to claim that. So, that is called the rights of paternity. The second one is right of integrity. It empowers the author to prevent distortion, mutilation or any kind of alteration to the work, and it always should honor the reputation of the creator. Only when the author is being reputed with the creation, then that is being being protected by the act. So, I introduced the lecture with the Amarnath Sehgal's case, who filed a case against the Union of India. I want you to recall this so that you can connect with this act. So, though he has signed an agreement, so though he was paid an honorarium, so though he assigned the entire copyrights to the government of India, he had this particular rights called moral right. He had the moral right which binds him to have a control over the mutilation, the destroyness or the even the change of the altering the boundaries or the image of the particular product. So, this particular case, the court termed the moral right as the soul of the author's work. That is the basic soul that connects the author and the creation beyond all kinds of these kind of agreements and these kind of acts. The author has the right to preserve, protect and nurture his creation through his moral rights. So, apart from the materialistic interest and economic interest, the author has a direct connection with the product and the creation in the form of moral rights. So, a creative individual is uniquely invested with the power and mystique of original genius, creating a privileged relationship between a creative author and his work. That was the argument of the court. Court said that it is the soul of the author which cannot be destroyed, which cannot be negated in any form. If you look at the period of copyright, how long a copyright can hold, how long the rights can be enjoyed by an author, it varies from country to country. If you look at European Union, they say that it goes for about 50 years after the lifetime. You create and enjoy throughout your lifetime, and after your death, you will have or your inheritors will have 50 years of enjoyment of this particular right. And you are free to increase. Actually, the Berne Convention insists that any signatory to the Berne Convention can increase the years. It can be even going beyond 50 years. That is what this particular Berne Convention insists about the duration of the copyright. And if you look at the United States and Europe, the term of protection is life plus 70 years. They call life plus 70 years. And copyright in India subsists for a period of 25 to 60 years depending upon the nature of the work. We are not following what Bernays says or what US or European countries follow. We have our own system in which it ranges from 20 years to 60 years. While you are discussing about the rights of the moral rights, economic rights and material rights, the law and the international conventions look at the creation for the larger benefit of the mankind, something called fair dealing or fair use, that whatever be the creation, whatever be the genius creation, and that should be made use for the entire humanity on certain grounds, that is called fair dealing or fair usage. Such a fair dealing provisions also extends to, there are some reasons they have given that this fair dealing can be used only for a certain purposes, like reporting of current events in the newspaper. If you want to report it in the newspaper, you can use the sound bite, or you can if the video bite, or you can quote some text, poems, or even a film in a magazine, or if you want to broadcast something or in the form of photographing, or particularly on teaching and research, this is permitted. So, fair dealing is permitted to make use of artistic creations for the larger benefit of the public, even if it is a commercial use. There is a certain limit with which these things can be used on certain ground, that is called fair dealing or fair usage of the copyright materials. And now we will see that what if somebody copied, what if somebody make use of something without attributing or without paying something, what will happen then? Then that is called infringement. Infringement of copyright is when you infringing into the rights of the domain of the creator. Making unauthorized copies of the work amounts to copyright infringement. Infringement is usually a civil and not a criminal matter. It is not a criminal offence. When you wholesome reproduction of a distribution of a copyright work, that is called direct infringement. Then there are two other types of infringement. Contributory infringement refers to when someone knowingly encourages infringing activity, that contributory, that you are contributing to that by knowing it, that this is their copyrighted material. This may affect the enjoyment or the rights of somebody. And the vicarious infringement refers to when for financial benefit the operator, in spite of his ability to control the check infringement deliberately, restrains from checking the users from committing such kind of act, is called vicarious thing. And to establish the case of infringement, the copyrighted owner must show only he or she owns a valid copyright. So, copyright comes automatically when you create a creation, it automatically comes, but if you want to prove in a court of law that registration of certain material will be helpful. So, you have to prove that you own the valid material. You have to show the court, convince the court that this material has been produced or created by you, so that you can enjoy the benefits. And I have to quote one judgment from International American Court, which talks about the infringement of the copyright, while declaring that the copyright is a domain where others cannot come into the picture. The judge who dealt with a case in American jurisprudence, he said that infringement of a copyright is trespassing on a private domain owned and occupied by the owner of the copyright and therefore protected by law. So, the court categorically said that it is something like trespassing the territory of somebody, right. You own a house and you made a territory of that, and somebody comes into that, then it amounts to the violation of the particular law. So, the same way infringement refers to the violation of or entering into the territory of somebody else who was created for the larger interest.